Charles Ponzi, the name that became a crime. Carlo Pietro Giovanni Ponzi ran an international mail fraud operation for 8 months before anyone noticed. His last name is now a legally recognized category of financial crime in jurisdictions across 6 continents. He was born on March 3, 1882 in Lugo, Italy. His mother, Imelda, raised him on a steady mythology. The family had once been wealthy. She told him poverty was temporary. She told him status was recoverable. She said this enough that he believed it absolutely. He arrived in Boston on November 15, 1903, with $2.50 in his pocket. By age 21, he had already lost 4 jobs. By 25, he had served 20 months in a Montreal prison for check forgery. By 28, he served 2 years in Atlanta Federal Penitentiary for smuggling Italian immigrants across the U.S. border. His mother's lesson had not changed. Status was recoverable. Wealth was recoverable. The mechanism did not matter. On August 1, 1919, Ponzi discovered the International Reply Coupon Arbitrage Gap, a legitimate postal instrument that theoretically allowed profit through currency exchange differentials. He built a scheme around it. He promised investors a 50% return in 45 days or 100% in 90 days. He paid early investors with money from new investors. No actual arbitrage occurred. He never purchased more than $30 worth of IRCs total. Between December 1919 and August 2020, he collected $15 million from 40,000 investors across New England. Adjusted for inflation, that is approximately $230 million in 2025 dollars. On August 12, 2020, the Boston Post published an investigation. The scheme collapsed within 72 hours. Investors lost $20 million total. Ponzi served 12 years across state and federal sentences and was deported to Italy in 1934. He died penniless in a Rio de Janeiro charity ward on January 18, 1949, age 66. His estate, $75. A mother taught her son that poverty was something to escape rather than manage. He escaped it 40,000 times simultaneously at other people's expense. Bernie Madoff, the trusted man. Bernie Madoff's clients included Nobel laureates, Holocaust survivors, and the family foundation of filmmaker Steven Spielberg. Every dollar they gave him disappeared. Bernard Lawrence Madoff was born April 29, 1938 in Queens, New York. His parents, Ralph and Sylvia, both ran unlicensed brokerage operations from the family home. Regulators investigated the family business twice before Bernie turned 13. Neither investigation produced charges. The lesson delivered to Bernie Madoff at age 13: regulatory scrutiny is survivable, paperwork is theater. At age 22, Madoff founded Bernard L. Madoff Investment Securities, LLC, with $5,000 earned from installing sprinkler systems. His father-in-law, Saul Alpern, funneled his clients to him immediately. The firm grew through inherited trust, not demonstrated performance. By 1990, Madoff was running a Ponzi scheme inside a legitimate market-making operation. He maintained 2 floors at 885 3rd Avenue in Manhattan. The 17th floor ran actual trades. The 19th floor fabricated statements for fraud clients. The 2 floors did not communicate. For 17 years, no auditor questioned why a fund managing billions used a 3-person accounting firm operating out of a strip mall in Rockland County, New York. On December 10, 2008, Madoff told his sons the business was one big lie. His sons called the FBI the following morning. He was arrested December 11, 2008. The fraud ran for at minimum 17 years. Total fabricated account value, $64.8 billion. Actual investor losses, $17.5 billion in real principal. Over 37,000 individual victims across 136 countries. He was sentenced to 150 years on June 29, 2009. He died in federal custody at Butner, North Carolina on April 14, 2021. He was 82. His parents taught him operating outside the rules was normal and getting caught was not the same as being wrong. Jeffrey Skilling, the architecture of collapse. Jeffrey Skilling did not steal money. He redesigned the rules that defined what stealing meant and then operated freely within the rules he redesigned. Born November 25, 1953 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Skilling was the second of 4 children in a family that relocated frequently due to his father's work. His father, Thomas, ran a valve company. Efficiency was the household religion. Performance metrics replaced conversation. At age 16, Skilling ran his own radio advertising business, cold calling local clients. His parents treated this as evidence of excellence rather than a child substituting commerce for connection. He graduated from Harvard Business School in 1979 with distinction. He joined McKinsey & Company, where he developed an early expertise in energy deregulation. He joined Enron in 1990. By 1997, he was president. By February 2001, he was CEO. Skilling introduced mark-to-market accounting to Enron in 1992 with SEC approval. This method allowed Enron to book projected future profits as current earnings on the day a contract was signed. It was legal. He then built a corporate culture where employees ranked below the 20th percentile in internal reviews were terminated annually. The mechanism ensured that fraud, once necessary, became the only rational survival strategy for those beneath him. Between 1996 and 2001, Enron reported $101 million in revenue. Actual assets were leveraged through 3,000 off-balance sheet entities. On December 2, 2001, Enron filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, then the largest corporate bankruptcy in U.S. history. 20,000 employees lost their jobs. Employee pension funds lost $2 billion. Shareholders lost $74 billion. Skilling was convicted on 19 of 28 counts of fraud and conspiracy on June 29, 2006. He was released from federal custody on February 21, 2019, after 12 years. He built a machine designed to make honesty economically non-viable. The machine worked. Elizabeth Holmes, the performance of certainty. Elizabeth Holmes dropped out of Stanford at 19 and spent the next 15 years telling the world she had built something that did not exist. She was born February 3, 1984 in Washington, D.C., into a family with a strong professional lineage. Her great-great-grandfather had founded Fleischmann's Yeast. Her father, Christian Holmes IV, worked for Enron and later USAID. Her mother, Noel, ran congressional committees. In the Holmes household, the presentation of success carried more social currency than its evidence. Holmes was told from an early age that founding a company was the highest form of achievement. She was never meaningfully taught what happens when a company fails. At age 19, in 2003, she founded Theranos in Palo Alto with tuition money and the specific claim that a finger-prick blood test could diagnose over 200 conditions simultaneously from a single small sample. This was not true on the day she said it. It was not true on any day she continued saying it. By 2013, Theranos had a $9 billion valuation. Her board included former Secretaries of State Henry Kissinger and George Shultz, former Secretary of Defense James Mattis, and former Senators Sam Nunn and Bill Frist. Walgreens signed a national partnership. The Department of Defense used Theranos devices in Afghanistan field operations to make medical decisions about wounded soldiers. The company ran approximately 12 million blood tests. A peer-reviewed study later found the devices produced inaccurate results at a rate that made them clinically unreliable. On June 15, 2018, Holmes was federally indicted. On January 3, 2022, she was convicted on 4 of 11 counts. On May 18, 2023, she reported to a minimum security federal prison in Bryan, Texas, to begin an 11-year, 3-month sentence. She was taught that appearing to have built something was the same as building it. 12 million patients discovered the difference.